Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you once again, and I hope you're keeping well. A lot of things have happened over the last couple of days, haven't they, guys? But this is a video where we're going to be talking about the preview of West Ham's second leg of the Europa Conference League last 16, where we welcome AEK Larnaca to the London Stadium for an 8 o'clock kickoff this Thursday evening live on BT Sport 3 and of course under the lights as well. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, but as you can see from the icon that's up here, there's also Admiral and Umbro claret and blue track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending directly on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter to help people put food on their tables in this very difficult time. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'll be getting yourself a really nice replica shirt as well, along with some very nice casual gear in claret and blue, and you'll be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. So as always, guys, let's start off by talking about the officials. The referee for this game is Georgiy Kabagov, I think you pronounced that. They're all of the officials bar VAR are Bulgarian, so apologies if I'm mispronouncing any of the names. The assistants are Martin Margitov and Dejan Valkov, I think you pronounced that, and the fourth official is Radislav Gizhonov, I think you pronounced that. On VAR, we have two Swifts referees. The main VAR assistant is Vedrai San, and his assistant is Lionel Tushedi, I think you pronounced that. So again, apologies if I'm getting this wrong. Now, talking of getting things wrong, I had a little bit of inconsistent information in the preview for the away leg. The corrections, basically, Larnaca was second in the table. They weren't first. I guess something must have updated since my notes, but they're now second in the table, and they are 2 points off the top, with their final game being played this Sunday. Larnaca lost 1-0 at home last night in the championship round in the Cypriot First Division against Apollon Limassol, I think you pronounced that. That are now 3 points behind them going into the end of the season. Gus Ledes was sent off at the 7th minute for a straight red in the game last night. I'm not really sure if he's going to be playing in the game on Thursday. But he was one of the victims, or sorry, one of the villains, I should say, of the game in terms of Larnaca. He had some dodgy things he was appealing against. But as we remember, some really good goals, both by Antonio. Beautiful layoff from Ben Rama for the first, and a beautiful ball up to him from Rice for the second. Larnaca played well, but they couldn't really finish. If they could finish, if they were a more professional team than they are, no disrespect, I do think they could have really got something better out of that game, and would be going into the last 16 second leg very nervous. Larnaca's away from in the ECL show. They've only played one game, and they've drawn once in that game. And their highest goal scorers on the road are Lopez and Gaiusco, I think you pronounced that, with a goal each. There's no assisters as usual. It seems to be, it's weird for the foreign leagues. They seem, especially with the Europa teams, don't really seem to have any players that will actually go out and actually give an assist. It seems to be a lot of selfish players. But anyway, Lopez is also the highest away aerial threat, as well as Christio Furu, I think you pronounced that, or Christy Furu. Who the fuck cares, quite frankly. Now, one of the questions for this is, will Jose Luis Ultra, the manager, will he go all out for this game? Now, in terms of injuries from AEK, nothing's really changed. Mamas and Farage are still, and Rosales are still at risk of being suspended if the next game, should they actually progress. As I say, their last game of the season is this Sunday, so there is a good argument that the manager isn't going to go full strength. I still maintain that they're going to go 4-2-3-1 in this fixture, but there's no other way of saying it, guys. Let's stick on to West Ham now. All right, there's only been 34,000 tickets sold as of the time of this recording, or at least the time of the research for this recording, I should say. Is that a foregone conclusion, or is the West Ham fan base really fucking pissed off of what's going on at the minute? I think it's a combination of both. I really do. I did say in the preview that I was only in the previous, in the Villa preview that I was going to keep this game preview just purely based on this fixture, but I can't. I really fucking can't. I agree with what Nicky put up on video on the West Ham the West Ham TV, West Ham Fan TV even. I agree with him 100%. We are fucking sick and tired of Moyes, and we are behind the boys. We're not behind Moyes. It's what on earth is he doing with Scamacca? What, seriously? Highest ever goal scorer in terms of volume, price I should say. And let's look at the facts, right? Let's just take the needle out of this preview for a second. We'll put it back in a minute, as that old cliche goes. But let's just talk about it. Felipe Anderson wasn't playing best of football. It's gone on and is absolutely cracked on. Nikola Vlasic, superbly doing well under on his loan season this season. Fell out with Moyes. You can argue to a certain degree, as did Yarmolenko. Sebastian Haller, bless him for coming back from from the cancer that he had. I think it was testicular cancer, and absolutely fucking smashing it in the Champions League. 4 players that are exceptionally talented and couldn't play properly under David Moyes. We've got a 5th now. Scamacca. Yes, he has an injury record. He doesn't look bothered with a lot of things, and probably down to the fact that David Moyes is pissing him off. So we've got potentially 5 players in the last 3 years that have gone on and done unbelievably well for a different manager. Now, this is the thing. A lot of disdain in the from the fans at the end of the Villa game. I must admit, I did laugh. I did laugh when there was a fake referee whistle being blown out and the boos went out before anybody actually realised it was from the ref or not. And the boos for the substitution of Ings coming off. Yes, okay, didn't do all that much of it. The boos a little bit more for Paquetá coming off. As I said in the preview, I can understand it to a degree. He was on a booking. He was getting rash. He's getting into some rash challenges. So he didn't want to have him suspended for the next league game, which is Man City at the start of next month. But yeah, it's not good, guys. And I can understand why there's not many tickets being sold, because people are just not bothering. And to be honest with you, I'm genuinely thinking about whether I should be renewing my season ticket next season. Not just because of the cost and the way the cost of living is at the minute, but I'm sure there's many of you guys out there that are thinking exactly the same. If we are going to be renewing our season ticket next season, there's more than likely I'm going to be going to a cheaper ticket, because you just know in a few years' time I'm going to be playing close to £1,000 with this bullshit. I don't want to in any shape or form. I don't want to not renew my season ticket. I've enjoyed being a season ticket holder for the length of time that I have, but relegation aside, or if we stay up, is the heartache. There's more important things to put the money on, to be honest with you. There really genuinely is. Whether we'll still think about that, think of the same way in 2 months' time when we're coming towards the end of the season, we'll have to wait and see. But putting the pin back in now, let's talk about the rest of this fixture. Soufal is out with what is known as plantar fasciitis, which is the same foot injury that Andy Carroll had with us before his contract ran down, so he'd be ruled out of this. Antonio is 50% chance of returning from the calf strain that he picked up during the away leg. Fabianski is still out for this game as well. Flynn Downs is suspended for this game because he got his booking and he's reached the maximum yellows, and Ogbonna is still at risk of missing the next game should we progress into the quarterfinals. So now, if you think about this logically, now, guys, we haven't got a game after this for 2.5 weeks. Yeah, 2nd of April is if I remember correctly, is the Man City game, because obviously it's been moved because this weekend they're in the FA Cup. We're not, and then the week after that is the international break. So, from my point of view, and I'm sure for the rest of you point of view, a lot of you guys are thinking this as well. I want David Moyes to go absolutely full strength. Why not? Why not do it? Why not just try and appease the fans? Say, look, I know I fucked up. This is what I'm gonna put out, and I do genuinely think this is our strongest 11 that we can choose from. I can't think of a weaker side that we can possibly put out. It's never going to happen in a million years. I'm pissed off to the fact that Scamacca is not being played. I talked about that in the full-time thoughts of the Villa game, but Thursday night makes complete sense to have Scamacca on the pitch. Complete sense. With Ings, with Benrahma, with Bowen up front, with Paquetá, with Rice, etc, etc. So guys, spoiler granted, but this is the starting 11 that I'm sure you guys will be able to figure out that I want to put out, bearing in mind, I want to see, because if Moyes doesn't put this out, then he's throwing the towel in as far as I'm concerned. Areola in goal, with a back four of Johnson, Zuma, Ugued and Emerson. Rice and Paquetá in the defensive midfield positions, with Ings playing the second striker role behind Scamacca, Bowen and Benrahma up front. So thank you very much for your time, guys. Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking on this. I'm sure you won't agree with 100% of the starting 11, but if you don't, drop your comments in. Let me know what you're thinking. Yeah, there's nothing else really to say other than if you've enjoyed it, please do like this video. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. Thank you to everybody that's got us to 2,244 subscribers. We're now 6 away from 2,250. So if you're enjoying the channel, you like what I'm doing, then by all means please do subscribe, and make sure you hit your notification bells on and set them to all as well. There will be content coming up over the next couple of weeks as well. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon or being a seagull that is following the trawler, as a lot of people are at the moment with a couple of things. I will be doing some content coming up in the next couple of weeks just to keep the channel ticking over and to keep the engagement coming on as well, for that matter. But guys, if you want to know what I'm thinking, go back and check the video that I did a few weeks ago that was talking about the 5 changes that I think David Moyes needs to be making. I made that around about January, if I remember correctly. So go check that out. I'll put a card up here so you guys can check it out anyway. I don't think any of that's changed in any shape or form. I really don't. And this is a stupid thing. We've been calling it for months. You know, just quickly, 9 wins out of 48 games or whatever the fuck it's been. It's just not good enough. Moyes has got to go. He really, really does. It's very, very clear he's losing the backroom staff. It's very, very clear that he's losing a lot of the players. And from what X has tweeted earlier, has put up on social media as well recently, that including Patreon, saying that Moyes is starting to lose the board as well. But David Sullivan won't sack him. What more do you need? What more do you need? In the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Enjoy yourselves, and I hope to see you on Thursday for when we put up the full-time thoughts video. In the meantime, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. All the best now. Take care.